say his name and he appears. Keith Joe Hendry made his debut on NXT June 18th episode. To be more specific, he competed in the Battle Royale. Give me your thoughts on his appearance and then also what he said. Hendry said that he expects to make more appearances on NXT. What do you think about the whole thing in a nutshell? TNA, WWE, NXT. Let's hear it, brother.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
There we go.
I believe in Joe Hendry. No, I was stoked about it. That was the best way to kick off an episode of NXT was just lights go down and we hear that. I've been expecting Hendry since the whole TNA NXT crossover things have started happening. Everyone and their mother was waiting for it, so I'm so glad it's there. Yeah. Real stoked if it's going to be more of them. The guy is like, he's everything. He's everything in charisma. If anybody isn't familiar with his work somehow in the world, I don't know where you've been living if you're not, go look up all his stuff from ICW and all the song parodies he does. He's incredible.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, let's hear
TNA NXT. I think it's awesome. Like it really kind of came out of left field. We got like the teases of it with Mickie James last year's Rumble when she showed up as the TNA as the Knockouts champion, and then we got blown away with Jordan Gray showing up in it this year, and just kind of thought it was one off, like it was going to be with Mickie last year and whatever, and then. She showed up on NXT and, now we got Hendry that showed up and Frankie Kazarian and Tatum Paxley showed up on TNA again to fight Jordan Grace for the title their last pay-per-view. It's awesome. I'm all for it. Like, I doubt, I think we're very, very, very far away if it's ever going to happen of having like WWE AEW crossover. But
like Drew or LA.
It's already kicking open a bunch of stuff. They announced EO's fighting. The name.
Oh yes,
she's fighting for Marigold. I think it's either for Marigold or for Stardom again. She's going back there. AJ's fighting in Noah.
Noah, that's it. Yep.
I know AJ's going to Noah. I can't remember where EO's going now. It's either Marigold, which is the new one, or it's Stardom. I don't remember now though. I think it's Marigold. Yeah. There's already the stuff going on. Julia is signed to NXT, but she's working with Marigold now with Rossy Agawa getting that started. Like it's awesome. Right? We say all the time on different things we do on the show about just like, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. I'm like, it really is. Like we're getting back to like I said, we're very far, if ever, going to get WWE AEW crossover. We were never going to get WWE WCW crossover, and we didn't. But like, it's cool that like they're acknowledging. Yeah, they're acknowledging more that other wrestling exists besides WWE. Even at Clash of the Castle, they were talking about Alba Fire being a former ICW Women's Champ, Piper being the inaugural ICW Women's Champ. Like they're touching on all that old history and stuff, and like it's just awesome. It's really cool. It's such a different and cool thing seeing in wrestling. But I don't know. I rambled a bunch. What do you think about it, man?
Yeah, I love it. I really think it's what we want to see. Again, like you said, it's it's great to be a wrestling fan right now. I know AEW has done it in the past, but it seemed like maybe it was for their benefit. I don't know how it's going to work with the WWE and TNA. I know, if you look at the totem pole, where WWE is, where TNA is. So there's not a threat. Like you mentioned, WCW, they were competition. 83 weeks, whatever it was, they were competition. Let's be honest. TNA is not competition. And it's great for this because it helped boosts TNA. I mean, a lot of people did not know who Hendry was. We know because we're podcasters,
right?
But a lot of people did not, and he got that pop, and it's just something special. That's what you want to see. Do I expect, Drew, AJ, LA, maybe Booker, former TNA guys to show up? I don't know if we're there yet, and I don't know if we'll ever get there. But I mean, Hendry's a start. Where this goes, it's fun. Again, it's fun to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool to be almost like not to diminish what TNA is doing or has done in the past. It's almost going to be like, it'd be cool to have it set up where it's almost like TNA is like a feeder to NXT, which then feeds to Raw or whatever, or, like, it's just like almost like back in, when they used to have, I don't know if you remember, they had the whole thing where WWE had like Heartland Wrestling Association, OVW, Deep South, Smoky Mountain. Like they had these like 4 smaller things that like they ran, but it was like their feeder systems where like Orton and Cena and all were like at OVW for a while before they got to WWE. So it's cool to have like what we have NXT we have TNA now too, where like these people are all just working elsewhere and getting their experience before they're ready for this. If it's going to be that way, I don't want to take away from TNA. TNA has its own history. There's a lot of highs in that promotion, way more downs also, but there's a lot of awesome talent there. And I think that's part of it too. Is I think this is a little bit of like WWE trying to be like, hey, like we totally want Joe Hendry over here. We totally want Jordan Grace to be on our roster. Like we want these people. So like we want to give them a taste of what it is here, so that when their contracts are up, maybe they're not so eager to re-sign with you guys anymore. But having this relationship, if they do sign one with WWE, cool. Like, yeah, Jordan, by all means, go back and show up for the next Hard to Kill or the next whatever, and do whatever you want to do there too, because we have this relationship. But you know, WWE.com gets to sell Jordan Grace merch now.
Yeah. The only thing if I'm going to nitpick, and I do that often on this podcast,
what we do.
I think what I want to see is, I mean, WWE has a lot of mid-card guys that could really, really help TNA and help WWE as well. I mean, for instance, Dijak. I mean, that would be cool, and it wouldn't be too much for WWE. I don't know exactly why they don't do it. I mean, I can, common sense think I know why, but Dijak, a lot of the mid-carders like Alexander, I mean, even someone like Lashley who has history there, use them. I mean, yes, what they did with Jordan Grace, that was cool, but it's just like, I don't know.
It'd be a great two-way street.